done with the job on the boring. So what is going to happen is we're going to put back our covers that are on here to protect the ways. And we have custom made boards that are made out of plywood that cover the whole thing up and protect it, so in case something does fall on here, let's say you're walking by here, you trip over something, bam, your whatever just hit the table, and instead of hitting the ways, it hits a piece of plywood. So to put it away, what we do is we take away oil and just lather it up real good, and then I come by with a paintbrush and give a nice even coat over everything, and that's just after wiping it down, of course, because clean is happy. So wipe it all down, oil it, cover goes on, and then we use it as a table because we're just bad. But when we need to use it, we just take the covers off, no big deal, everything's cool, and then we put it back on, and it's a lifesaver. And we don't worry about cleaning too much out of this area here because it's just, you can spend days cleaning these machines if you really wanted to. I have to clean up one of the lathes every once in a while for a specific job where we keep the chips, and I have to go through it and basically make the thing look like new so we can actually salvage what we're cutting. And so this doesn't need that. So oil it, lots of oil. I don't want to say there's no such thing as too much, but there is, because it does cost money. So just take that. These little crossways. But just nice, even film. Doesn't need to be perfect, but 99% of it needs to be covered. And what this does is this protects from rust. It looks like it's got a little surface rust here, but it's still smooth, it's not bad, and there will be a point where we get to go through and stone the whole machine over again. When this thing first got here, everybody pitched in with stoning it all down because it sat and got rusted. But not only do I do the table and the ways for the bed down there, I will also come through here and do these also. And then periodically, these are the ways for the headstock where it goes up and down. Before I was doing my boring, I took this quill all the way out and oiled it up, and it makes a nice big difference going, and when you have to go in and out, it makes a real big difference for smoothness. And then over time, if this thing sits, then sometimes this thing will sit for like half the year without being touched at all like it did this time. And once a month, once every while, whenever I think about it, I'll come by here and hit all the stuff with PB Blaster or WD-40 or something just to keep a film on it. We don't have a humidity problem in here, but during the wintertime we do bring things in to thaw out, and that does create a pretty good amount of humidity in here. But because I oil everything all the time, it doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. So, and you can see, because this is all nice and oiled, these ways sit here for months completely untouched, and because we use a nice thick whey oil, it clings to it. It doesn't drip off, it doesn't evaporate, it doesn't do the stuff that normal cheap shitty oil does. And so the other thing is, every once in a while you gotta clean up here because chips just kind of go everywhere. And so once again, if there's not stuff on the table here, I'll come through here, oil the screws, oil the shafts, the spline shafts. Anything that is a bare surface gets oiled every once in a while. This here is for moving the table in side to side here. It's about to the point where it needs to be dressed with some sandpaper, some real fine sandpaper, just to clean up the surface rust, and then oil it again after wiping it off. Because the big thing is just, it has to be wiped down first, because if you come down through here and there's like, let's say, a big hard chip from something stupid, 6150, really solid stuff. Go in here, slap your board down on it, slide it across. Well, now you just gouged the shit out of the table. So instead of being stupid, you just wipe it down. And as always, everything around here is the opposite from the rest of the world. You touch it with your hands. Make sure there's nothing there. The boards are going to put down a little bit of stuff, but it's just wood. It doesn't damage anything. There's no screws sticking through it in weird ways. There's nothing underneath it that's going to cause an issue. We just take care of it because it takes care of us. I used to say like a clean machine is a happy machine. Sometimes you just get busy and you can't clean it every day. This cutter, on this machine, I have done 1/4 inch deep cuts, and it didn't give a shit. It's got a lot of power behind it, and I don't think there's any big chips laying around here from doing that anymore. But they're impressive. They're really impressive. They're really hot, and they go everywhere. And it's one of those things where you just kind of like put your hazmat suit on, and you just hope that nothing touches you. It sucks. It sucks real bad. It burns you instantly. There's a lot of heat when you're cutting that kind of deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't do that one naked.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, they talk about cooking bacon naked. You have to be a machinist in a nudist colony. That'd be a bad occupation.